Go. I'm gonna choose from 3 topics in this cup, and the one I pick up is the one I'll perform. This is the topic I got.
Japheth will now prepare for his impromptu speech. Go. All right, your 2 minutes are up.
You're supposed to
You now
stop the
have
timer.
another couple of minutes to deliver your speech.
Okay. Okay, so last year in 2020, I went to the Philippines, and over there, I went to a few restaurants, and I've met up with my cousins and my old relatives. And I pretty much didn't really like it there. I thought it wasn't as what I thought it would, and I only been there for like a week. And so this brings, but I knew that there was more to see. So this brings me to the quote, the breaking of a wave cannot explain the whole sea, made by Vladimir Nabokov. And so pretty much he's trying to say that even if you're looking at one point of a portion, that's not the whole thing. You gotta understand, you can't see the whole thing from one glance. You gotta see it over and over again. And I completely agree with this point. And the reason why is because I have 3 points. One is that you don't see as much as the first glance. Second, your knowledge is not at max of the whole area or what you claim to see. And third, there is a lot to learn when exploring new areas. So what I'm thinking about for my first point is that when you look at the first time you explore an area, you have a minuscule portion of what you see. Like how I went to the Philippines, I only went to a few restaurants and stuff. And like, even though I didn't like it there was more to see, and maybe it would have changed my mind. And that brings me to my second point, where like your knowledge is not at max yet. You gotta you have to go to new areas of that continent. You gotta explore and like go out there. Like I should have went to more areas. I should have went to where my other cousins were. I had like multiple cousins there, and I failed to like meet up with them and see other places, like going to tropical islands with them, or like going scuba diving in other portions of the Philippines. And that brings me to my third point of like you won't ever like be able to understand the whole place if you are not willing to put yourself out there for more longer, because I only stayed in the Philippines for like a week. I should have at least spent a good year to finalize my last answer for that area, because like if I put more time, I would have probably liked it more there and been more accustomed to that area. Like I didn't like the air quality there as much. Like it was really hot there and humid. But maybe if I stayed there longer, I would have gotten used to it and enjoyed the temperature, because it's like I like being in the sun a lot, and that's what I kind of wish I tried to do in the Philippines. And that brings me to my conclusion, where you gotta see the whole, you gotta see more than just a wave of what you're looking at. You gotta see more of it, like take more glances at where you're exploring, or else you won't have a good answer to that area. And that brings me to the end of my story, where I went to the Philippines. When I went back, I had a thirst to go back again. So later on, I'm going back, and I'm going back to the Philippines so I could meet up with new cousins that I've had, well, that I haven't met yet, and think about exploring different areas of my country. And that concludes my speech.